Good morning, friends. Today we will start a new chapter number 10, circles. So, circles you have done in the previous classes also. You see many objects around you which are in the shape of a circle, a bangle, the currency coins, the wheels of the vehicles, all are in the form of a circle. So, circle is supposed to be a perfect shape. Okay, circle is supposed to be a perfect shape. So today we are going to do the geometric aspect of circle. So what is a circle? How do you define a circle? The collection of all the points in a plane which are at a fixed distance from a fixed point in the plane is called a circle. So two things are mentioned here. You can see what is mentioned here. The first thing is a fixed point. So we have to fix a point. So this point O, we can say, is the fixed point, right? And we should have a fixed distance. So first you need a fixed point and then you need a fixed distance. So measure OP. OP is your fixed distance. The distance between these points O and P is your fixed distance. So O is your fixed point, OP is your fixed distance. So when you have a fixed point and a fixed distance, now what you're supposed to do, you can try one thing. Take a piece of string, okay? A piece of string, some piece of string you take. Then you tie the two ends of the string in a loop. Tie the two pieces of string in a loop. Now you need a fixed point. So here you put your finger and hold it tight. At this point, that is O, put your finger and hold it very tight. At this point, you put a pen or something and now stretch the string and make it to move. Now because of this fixed point, this string will move in a loop only, forming a circle. So this you can do anywhere in the house. You can even do it in the mud. What you need, a piece of string. Take a piece of string and tie it into a loop. You make a loop and tie the ends. Now in the mud, fix one finger at one place, fix it tightly, and the other finger you start to move. Stretch the string and move the finger. As you will move the finger, what will you get? The shape of a circle. So again we go to the definition, the collection of all the points. Now where are all the points? If you see this point P, as you keep moving, you are making many different points on the circle. So can you imagine how many points are there on the circle? Yes, you are right. There are infinite points on the circle. So this circle has got infinite points. So the definition again, the collection of all points in a plane. So this is a plane. You can see this white background is a plane, and in the plane the collection of all the points which are at a fixed distance, that is OP, this is OP, from the fixed point, that is O, in the plane is called the circle. So the collection of all these points is called the circle. Now the fixed point is called the center. So remember this word center. You should understand. So O is the center of the circle. What is O? O is the center of the circle. So the fixed point is called the center and the fixed distance is called the radius. Remember this word. So here OP is the radius, and we write the small letter R for radius. So length of OP. So in this figure what have we got? O is the center and length of OP is the radius. So now we should know a little bit of construction also. If we are told to construct a circle with radius 3 centimeter, what will you do? How will you make a circle with radius 3 centimeter? You will take a scale, then you will take your compass, you will put the point on 0, your compass, yes, and you will fix your pencil exactly on 3. So you will take your compass and then with the help of a compass you will draw your circle. So you have to be perfect in the constructions. So the construction is given to you. Draw a circle with radius 3 centimeter. So you will need a scale, you will need your compass, you will need a very nice pointed pencil. Placing it on the scale, you will exactly measure 3 centimeter, and in your book you will draw the circle. Now there is something to note here. What you are supposed to note? That the line segment joining the center and any point on the circle is called the radius. So what is the radius? Can you see? From the center, this point O, to any point on the circle, this is P. Suppose I draw a point here and call it Q. Then even OQ is the radius. How OQ is the radius? It is saying the line segment from the center to any point on the circle. If I draw another line segment here from the center to a point on the circle and call it S. So here OP is the radius, OQ. The distance will remain the same, fixed distance. Even OS is the radius. So the line segment from the center of the circle to any point on the circle. Any point on the circle is called the radius. So radius here has to be used in two senses. One is, you call it a line segment. So which are the radius here? You can see in the diagram, OP is the radius, OR is the radius, OS is the radius, and OR is also the radius. And radius also means the length. So suppose I say here, the radius of this circle is say 5 centimeter. So when I say radius, it means two things. Radius also means the line segment, and radius also means the length of the segment, 5 centimeter. So remember, in different sums you will have to use it differently. So I hope you have understood what a circle is. Now look at this symbol here. This is a symbol. So a circle is shown with a symbol. A circle, some books only show a circle, some show a dot between. Now there are two letters written here. What are these two letters? In the bracket, the first letter tells you what is the center. So here O is the center. Comma, next is radius. I can write 0, 3. Now 0, 3, no, O, 3 means O is the center and 3 units. I have not mentioned centimeter, meter, decimeter, millimeter. I have not mentioned. So here this code is, it is a circle with center O and radius 3 units. So you can take 3 centimeter whatever. Okay. So this is the symbol of the circle. Now we look at the circle, the interior and the exterior of a circle. So now look at the diagram properly. What is the center of the circle? O is the center of the circle. Now look at points P, Q, M and R. All these 4 points are lying on the circle. These points P, Q, R and even M. The diagram M, all these points are on the circle. Can you see? On the circle. Now look at the point A and B. A and B. They lie inside the circle. So that is called the interior of the circle. Here the blue color. The blue color indicates the interior of the circle. Means all the points inside the circle. And look at the point X and the point Y. These 2 points lie outside the circle. So that is called the exterior of the circle. So in a plane, you can see this white color plane. Can you see the white background? On the white background there is a circle. So this circle is dividing the plane into 3 parts. All the points on the plane are 3 parts. There are points on the circle, that is P, Q, R and M. There are points inside the circle. And there are points outside the circle. So there is a circle, there is an interior of the circle and there is an exterior of a circle. Now let us say this circle has got a radius R. So if you see OP is equal to R, it is on the circle. OQ is equal to R on the circle. OM equal to R on the circle. OR equal to r on the circle. But if you look at OA, this point is inside. So this distance is smaller than r. So when the point is in the inside, in the center of the circle, the distance is less than the radius. So O and OB are less than the radius. Now if you look at OX, you can see that distance is greater than the radius. So OX is greater than r, even OY is greater than r. So a circle divides a plane into three parts: points on the circle, points or the area or the region inside the circle, interior, and the region outside the circle. So we have got the circle, the interior and exterior. Remember, you can have a region. So the interior is an enclosed place, means it is closed from all sides. But the exterior you can see is open. The exterior doesn't have a boundary. The interior has got a boundary. The exterior doesn't have a boundary. So is it clear to you? Now we see the circle again and understand the terms on the circle. So like I asked you the question, how many points are there on the circle? There are infinite points on the circle. Okay? Again, what is the distance now? The distance between the center and any point on the circle is called the radius. So in the diagram I showed previously, OP, OQ, OR and OM are all radius. Why they are radius? See in the diagram I have shown by the yellow lines. The yellow lines are the radius because they are the line segment joining the center to the points on the circle. So the points on the circle. So when you join the center to the points on the circle, you get a radius. Okay? So here you can see this. OA is the radius. OB is the radius. Now we are going to learn a new definition, a chord. What is a chord? A chord is a line segment. A line segment has got two endpoints. A chord is a line segment whose endpoints lie on the circle. So I have drawn here PR. Look at PR, the orange color line. One point on the circle P and other point on the circle R. So PR is a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle. So it is called a chord. So the orange color PR is a chord, PQ is a chord, QR is a chord, QM is a chord. All these are chords. Why? These are line segments whose endpoints lie on the circle. Okay, so see the diagram carefully. See which are the radius. The yellow colored line are the radius, and in this diagram also PQ is a chord because the endpoints of this line segment lie on the circle. Now there is a special chord if you can see here. Look at PM. PM. PM is also a chord. Can you notice that? PM is a chord. Why it is a chord? Because the endpoints lie on the circle. So PM is a chord. But this is a special chord. Why this is a special chord? Because this chord passes through the center. So a chord passing through the center of the circle is called the diameter of the circle. So remember, the diameter is also a chord. The diameter is also a chord, but the diameter passes from the center of the circle. So if you draw some chords on the circle, see this is PQ, I draw another chord, say RS, I draw one more chord, I keep on drawing chords. What do you notice here? Have you noticed something special? Have you noticed anything special here? You will. Eventually you will notice something very special here. When I draw the chords, you will see this longest chord passes through the center. So the chords are small here, they become bigger here, it is becoming maximum here, and then again it becomes smaller. Smaller, smaller and smaller. So the biggest chord is passing where? Through the center. So diameter you can say is the longest chord of the circle. Okay, so diameter is the longest chord. Okay, and all the diameters have same length. Let us see what is the length of the diameter. So here we have PM. is a diameter. Let us call the diameter as d. What is d equal to? You can see OP is equal to r. This is r, radius. Even OM is equal to r. So diameter PM is, so how should we write? We will write diameter PM. See, PM can be written as OP plus OM. So we'll take OP, that is R plus OM. So that is R plus R, or becomes 2R. So diameter is equal to twice the radius. Let us see. Let us check. If the radius is 5 centimeter, how much will the diameter be? Yes, it will be 10 centimeter. Another one. If the diameter is 7 centimeter, how much will the radius be? So half will be 3.5 centimeter. Okay. So diameter, the length of the diameter again is 2 times the radius. So diameter is 2 times the radius, or the radius is half of the diameter. Now a question for you. In a circle, how many diameters can be there? Can you guess? Suppose I have got a circle, center and a circle. How many diameters can the circle have? 1, 2, 3. They are all passing the center. So you are right. The diameters are infinite. A circle has got infinite diameters. So which are the new definitions you learnt here today? What is a chord? So what is a chord? A line segment whose endpoints lie on the circle is called a chord, and the chord which passes through the center is called the diameter. So diameter is the longest chord. Now we'll go to certain other definitions. Arc of a circle. Okay. Now to understand the arc of a circle, you can see this is a whole circle. Can you see this first diagram? This is a circle. Now what is the arc of a circle? This length here PQ, this part is called an arc. It is written as arc PQ. Now if you want to understand arc, you can see, if you have a bangle at home, a glass bangle, it is complete, okay? Your mother wears bangles which are complete. Now if you see a broken bangle, a bangle which has fallen down and broken, then every piece of the bangle is an arc. Okay? So when a bangle falls and breaks down, then every piece of the bangle you can say is an arc. Okay? Now in this picture we have got this chord PQ. Can you see this chord PQ? This line segment is a chord. Now it breaks the circle into two parts. Let us say the bangle is broken into two parts. The smaller part, you can see the bangle is broken into a smaller part, and the bangle is broken into a bigger part, two parts. The smaller part is called the minor arc, and the bigger part is called the major arc. So we can write minor arc PQ like this. But sometimes when we write PQ, we do not know it's minor or major. Now you can see there is one more point R. So we are indicating PRQ. So PRQ is the major arc. And if I write a point here S, then I can show PSQ is the minor arc. So every chord, when there is a chord on the circle, then the endpoints are on the circle. This chord will break the circle into two parts, a bigger part and a smaller part. Okay? Now look at the whole circle. You know what is the length of the whole circle called? If I start from P and come back to P, the length of the whole circle, or the length of the complete circle, is called the circumference. Do you remember the formula of circumference? In the previous classes you must have done. The length of the circumference is 2 pi r, where r is the radius and value of pi we take as 22 upon 7, or approximately sometimes 3.14. So the length of the complete circle is called the circumference. Okay? So this whole circle is the circumference, right? But now it is broken into two arcs, minor arc and major arc. So if you add the minor arc, length of the minor arc, and if you add the length of the major arc, then you will get the circumference of the circle. So if you take this major arc and add it to it the minor arc, you will get the circumference of the circle. So is it understood? So it is written as arc PQ or arc PQ like this. You have to show it a semicircle sort of thing. That is your arc PQ. Okay. Now you can see this chord PQ. What happens if the chord becomes a diameter? So here I have drawn the PQ as the diameter, passes through the center. Now can you tell me which is the major arc and which is the minor arc? No, they both are equal. This can be called minor also and major also. This can be called minor and major. So a diameter divides the circle into two equal parts, which we call a semicircle. So semicircle is exactly half of the circle. So what is the length of the semicircle, the arc? If the whole circumference is 2 pi r, then we should write the semicircle will be only pi r, half of it. So you can see in the diagram here, this is the semicircle. This is the semicircle. So if the arc is smaller than the semicircle, we'll call it a minor arc, this one. And if the arc is bigger than the semicircle, we'll call it a major arc. So what is the arc again? When the circle is broken down into different parts, each smaller part is called an arc. We are going to do sums regarding this, but remember the definition. When a bangle breaks down, every part of the bangle is called an arc. Why it is called an arc? Because here you can see PQ is a straight line, but the part of the bangle is not a straight line, it is a curve. So a curve is called an arc. You remember the spelling is ARC. So arc of a circle is what? It is a piece of the circumference. Okay, when the whole circle is broken down, then the piece of the circumference is called the arc. So the new definitions you are learning today is a chord and what is a arc. And we got two more definitions to do, segment and sector. Again you can see here, P and Q is the chord. Now if you look at this whole area, see the whole circle. Now you know what is the area of a circle? Area of a circle is pi r square, right? This is the whole area. Now look at this chord PQ. So when you take the chord PQ, I'll write here as the line segment PQ, and you take the arc PQ, minor arc PQ, then this chord and this minor arc make a shape. The chord and the minor arc make a shape. This shape is called the minor segment. And when the chord and the major arc, this is the major arc, this makes up the major segment. So what is the segment? The chords divide the circle into two parts, these two parts. You can see this is the minor arc and this is the major arc. Then the closed figure with the major arc and the chord is called the major segment, and the closed figure with the chord and the minor arc is called the minor segment. So a chord is dividing the circle into many different parts. The chord breaks up the arcs of the circle. The chord even breaks up the segments of the circle. Again, we have got the points P and Q, that is the chord. But this time I do not join the chord, I join the point P to O, the center of the circle. I join the point R, Q to the center of the circle. Now you see this shape in yellow. What does it have? It has got a radius, another radius, and the arc. This shape is called a sector. So when the sector is formed by the minor arc, it is called the minor sector, shown in the yellow color. That shape is a minor arc. And when the major arc forms the sector, it is called the major sector. To remember this, you can understand the slices of a pizza. The slices of the pizza are almost in the shape of a sector, right? We never cut pizza in segments. We always cut pizzas in sectors. If you remember the pizza, you will remember the sector also. So I will not go much into detail in this topic today. Just understand what we have done, what a circle is, which are the points on the circle, what is the interior of the circle, what is the exterior of the circle. Then we saw what is the chord, what is the diameter, what is the length of the diameter, that is twice the radius. Then we did the length of the arc. Remember, a broken piece of bangle is in the shape of an arc. How to find the length of the arc by the formulae we'll do in the succeeding lectures. And we also done what is segment. So you can see the green colored portion on the top part is the major segment. How to find the area of the segment, the circumference of the segment, the perimeter of the segment, we'll do in the succeeding chapters. All you have to do in this lecture just now is to understand what are the different shapes. So remember the vocabulary very well. Definitions again, what is a circle, what is the center of the circle, what is a radius, what is a chord, what is a diameter, what is an arc, what is a sector, and what is a segment. So I hope this lecture is clear to you. If not, see the lecture 2 or 3 times, because this is the defining vocabulary. Each time you see this, then there should be a clear picture in your mind. What an arc, what a segment, what a sector, what a chord, what a diameter, what radius is. If the picture is clear in your mind, then the chapter will become very easy. So I'm going to end here. Kindly do it. Okay, revise and learn this well. You can even write, as for homework, you can write all the definitions in your fair book. And along with the definition, draw the diagram on the side. I'm going to end here. Thank you.